here's the thing. Once Michigan beat Arizona, I said, well, I'm okay. Because that just meant that I did better than you.
Exactly.
That was all
That's all you cared about. Well, once they lost, I'm like, damn, this is not good.
Welcome to Sports Chat with Greg and Bryan. I am Bryan, seated underneath a picture of Greg.
And I am Greg, seated underneath the picture of Bryan.
So don't get us mixed up, because we're different. We're not the same dude.
In many ways, we're different.
Yep. He's a regular foot. I'm a goofy foot.
I skateboard goofy.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I do.
That makes no sense.
I absolutely skateboard goofy.
If you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe. We are up to 17 subscribers.
Let's
We're
shoot
shooting
for 20.
We'd like to get to 20.
20 subscribers would be cool.
Actually, we'd like to get more than 20, but you got to get to 20 first before you can get to taking over the world.
Well, we got to get to 18 before we can take over the world too, apparently, right? So anyway, let's get on with Bryan. We're going to talk about a lot of sports stuff, right?
Yeah, well, that is Sports Chat with Greg and Bryan.
Yeah, and boat fails is a sport.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to get to that right now.
I know, but we did, and it was fun. So anyway, we're going to get into the men's March Madness first.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's see where we're going.
Find out how poorly we both did.
So last week we had this bracket up here where Bryan and I realized we did not do very well. Some of us did better than others. And going into the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and even the Final Four. But, Bryan, it is amazing that you actually had Michigan beating Arizona, and they destroyed Arizona.
Yeah.
I think Arizona was, I don't know, man, it was just too much for them. Michigan.
Well, you were the one that said they never win.
I took them to go to the final.
I know, but that's on you.
I know. It absolutely is on me.
You poo-pooed them all year long, and then when it comes to the tournament,
you know what it is? It's just because
the championship. I don't understand.
I don't like Michigan. That's why. I just don't like Michigan. I let my heart, because I'm not a Michigan fan.
Okay, well,
go blue. Whatever. What is that logo on their helmet? That's a Wolverine?
It's a Wolverine.
That is a Wolverine.
That's a Wolverine.
Apparently a Wolverine has 3 stripes down his back.
Yes, I think they do.
I didn't know that. Maybe I'm wrong, but blue, gray one, or yellow one.
So, but here's the thing. Once Michigan beat Arizona, I said, well, I'm okay. Because that just meant that I did better than you.
Exactly.
That's
all you cared about. Well, once they lost, I'm like, damn, this is not good.
And so when it came to the final game, though, I was pulling for UConn.
I was too.
I mean,
just probably because I'm not a Michigan fan, but also UConn.
I was kind of.
Well, they beat the team that I wanted to win it all too. Yeah. So I can at least say, well, at least my team lost to the team that won it all, right? Unlike you, who says, well, at least I got the guy in the second place, which is first loser.
Right. And then, as the game was going on last night, it just, from the beginning, I was just looking at it going, Michigan's going to win this.
They came back, that freshman kid, man, he was lighting it up from the 3-point line. I watched the highlights. I was busy working, but yeah, that kid, he was on fire. They came back. They were down by like 11 or 12 at one time, and they got it down to, they got it down to like 7, and then turned the ball over, which would could have got it down to 4, and then when they got down by 11 again. But it was a 5-point or 6-point ball game, right?
For a while.
But what was the final score?
That I thought it was
remember. Like only 5 points.
It got to a point with about 50 seconds to go in the game. It was just like UConn couldn't get out of their own way, and every time that they brought the ball down the floor, Michigan had an answer.
I mean, they were definitely the better team that game. I mean, but UConn, you got to. Hey, look, man.
I think.
Hey, Bryan, just to let you know, your theory of
it didn't work.
I mean, they won the Big Ten.
Yes.
But not the championship game.
No.
So you kind of floating on some kind of right, but
a little bit, yeah, a little bit of
far from it.
credibility. I
But
think the big issue for UConn, why they didn't win, they had one big guy, and Michigan had two or three big
yeah,
guys. And their starting center is 7'3". UConn's biggest guy was 6'10".
yeah.
And you can say, well, okay, but that kind of stuff matters. 5 extra
By the way,
inches.
there was a call early in the game, and every call matters, that they called a block that should have been a charge against their big guy
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, right.
early in the game,
Yes,
right? And I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
how
I
many fouls
remember
the
the
guy
play.
had, but that was 2 points,
Right.
and that was a foul on that guy on the UConn guy, and not a foul on the Michigan guy that should have been.
It should have been a foul on him.
I mean,
You're right.
he lowered his shoulder and pushed him, and the guy was there before. The guy had established. He didn't lean into him or anything like that,
Right.
and that was a key call.
So, but I think it just boiled down to size. I think size, and then I was really surprised. UConn had juniors and seniors starting, which is always a good sign. But so did Michigan. That 7'3" center is a junior. And they had a number of juniors and seniors on their starting lineup. So that
And
matters more.
Arizona started probably 3 freshmen when they played, right?
I don't remember,
They're
but
young.
yeah, but it does make a difference.
There was talk about North Carolina's coach got fired.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
immediately after their loss in the NCAA tournament, and there's talk about bringing in the Arizona coach.
Oh,
And
wow.
Arizona just accepted his contract.
He ain't going
He ain't
anywhere.
going anywhere. But
So
they're talking about getting a pro. But anyway, that's off on a different subject
yeah.
about basketball. But let's move on to something else, Brian. But anyway, congratulations to Michigan, even though you're not my favorite team out there.
Or my choice. I got
But you know
you to the
what?
final.
You guys played hard. You played well. You beat everybody other than this game, I think you beat everybody by double digits.
Yeah, they destroyed
They
almost
destroyed
everybody. Yeah.
So there you go. Let's see. Where are we going from here, Brian?
Well, since we talked about the men's Final Four, why don't we talk about the women's Final Four? The women's Final Four, and I didn't watch every minute of every game, but I watched some of these games. The UConn South Carolina game, it wasn't close.
No, South Carolina killed UConn.
They did, and I was
Stunned.
very much so, because I was thinking they were going to beat them, but South Carolina, to their credit, really dominated. UConn could not make a shot. And whether that was that South Carolina put them in a stressful situation, changed their game plan, whatever it was. But yeah, it wasn't close.
I didn't watch UCLA play. I mean, that's a pretty close game, 51-44.
Yeah, I did not see the UCLA Texas game, which it goes to show you, I thought Texas was going to win. I thought UConn was going to
Yeah.
win, and I thought it was going to be UConn and Texas. Dawn Staley had her players ready to go against UConn, and in the final, there was a point in the game where UCLA was up by 30 points.
Against Texas?
Against South Carolina in the final.
Which is crazy. South Carolina destroyed UConn.
Right. And maybe they just got into that mindset that, okay, if we beat UConn, then we will be the national champions. And it just simply wasn't to be. There just was no answer.
They might have, wonder if they've taken some of the points they beat UConn by and just put them on this game. Can you take the 2-game total?
It wouldn't have mattered. They won by 28 points.
Yeah, it was probably more than that.
I was watching the Angel game. I watched some of the game, and when UCLA got way up, I was like, okay, well, this is not going to be close. So I was watching the Angel game, and I kept flipping back and forth, and there was a point where it was like 70. What was it? It was like 70-28 or something. I mean, it was that lopsided.
Well, I mean, the final.
Yeah, in the final.
I mean, it was.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it was
Final,
79-51, so that means 28 seems like a pretty low number because then they got another 23 points to their
Well,
UCLA's 9.
all I'm saying is that at whatever
that
point
lopsided.
it was that lopsided. Maybe
Yeah.
it was 28-48 or 28-58.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that lopsided. So, hey, UCLA, they deserved it. They beat them. I thought that the UConn South Carolina game was going to be like the final. Hey, UCLA won it. They dominated.
Apparently, South Carolina thought that too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So congrats to UCLA. Okay, an experience like no other.
This is quite possibly the best tournament there is.
I watched
bar the Ryder Cup. Okay.
1 year. I watched every round of the Masters. I got up, I watched it on TV. It was on. I watched it and I got really into it. And it was really exciting. It was really fun.
The cool thing is they started broadcasting in the morning now, so you actually you can see all 18 holes. Like they used to not let you broadcast all these holes.
Okay.
And now you can. They're Augusta National is getting a little bit more open to the public, although you still can't play there.
Right.
I mean, it's.
Well, you can if you're a member, or a member invites you.
Yeah. You're right. If a member invites you.
So.
You are right.
Yeah. All right. Who is going to win?
I'm going to tell you something about the Masters also. The Masters jacket.
Yes.
I think for the first year, you're allowed to wear it off the grounds. After that, you have to leave it on the grounds and you can only wear it on the ground. I think for the first year, you can wear it away.
Wow.
I think that's the way it is.
These are the most recent winners of the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Scheffler's won it twice. Tiger Woods won it in 2019.
Tiger Woods has won this tournament
5 times. That's what the little number next to his name is there.
Yeah. Who's won it more than Tiger?
Jack Nicklaus won it 6.
Oh, the best golfer ever.
So you got Scottie Scheffler, Rory. I don't follow golf at all. So I put this up because I just wanted to see who had won it in the past. That to me was kind of important.
My gut tells me
Okay,
Matthew Fitzpatrick's going to win this.
Okay. Hang on though. Let's evaluate this. So let's move on to the next little picture here. Here are the factors that determine who's going to win the Masters.
This goes down the same length of the Detroit Tigers are going to win the MLB.
Hey, I was close. All right. These are the factors. So no debutante since 1979. So consequently, if it's your first trip to the Masters, you ain't winning.
Fuzzy Zell, I believe, won it in a playoff too.
Okay. But you're not going to win.
The odds are.
Okay.
The odds are when you go against the number 16, you're not going to win either, but.
Okay. 25 of the last 27
winners
finished in the top 30 the year before. So if we want to know who's really going to win this, we need to look at who finished in the top 30 last year.
So understand that this is not an open championship.
No. That's not what it's saying.
But so understand that you have to finish. A lot of these things are going to be like you have to finish high in the previous one in order to get invited back. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like.
But that's what it's saying is that last year, if you finished in the top 30, you're more likely to win than if you didn't finish in the top 30.
Absolutely, because you probably might not get invited back if you didn't finish in the top 30.
Okay. And then they made the cut in the year immediately preceding their win. So you got to make the cut. If you didn't make the cut last year, you're probably not going to win the Masters this year. So you have to make the cut. You got to finish in the top 30. So it's not good enough just to make the cut. You got to make the cut finish in the
Well,
top
so
30.
first of all, your data point number two.
Oh, this is just point one.
But data,
I've
well,
got
okay,
four.
but subcategory A, the second point down. In order to finish in the top 30, you have to make the cut.
right?
So
Well,
that the third
just
point
okay,
doesn't
but
make a ton of sense.
well, no, it does because you could have played at the Masters last year, not made the cut, be invited back this year. You're probably not going to win.
No, but what I'm saying is if your first point says 25 of the last 27 winners finished in the top 30,
Correct.
and 26 of the 27 past winners
Made the cut.
made the cut. So there's only one other person that didn't finish in the top 30. Probably the other 25 of those 26 people were in the top 30
Mm-hmm.
that won the Masters. So if you finish in the top 30, you have a better chance of winning the Masters.
Right, but there's always that one guy. There's always the outlier.
Who was that one dude?
I don't know. I don't follow golf that much, but I'm just trying to narrow this down. Let's get this here.
Okay.
Okay. They dominate through superior ball striking. They don't just putt. So you got to be able to hit it. You got to hit your greens in regulation. 68%.
So that's not a good number. 68%.
Is it because the Masters is tough?
Yes.
Well, but if you're hitting 68% of your greens on the Masters, I would say that's pretty good.
So if you want to take that to the next step, so when you don't make your green in regulation, then you have another terminology that's scrambling terminology. Did you still make par even though you didn't make green in regulation?
Okay.
That percentage is probably needs to be within the top 10 in order to win that. The scrambling needs to be.
So you got to be, it's not only you got to be accurate, but you got to be a scrambler.
Yeah, because if you're only hitting 68% of the greens, right? Okay, that means 32% of the time you're trying to save par, which is not a good number.
No, that's a third. Yeah, it's a third of the
30
time.
of the time you're trying to save par or worse. I mean, sometimes you make double bogey, like, oh my God, I just saved 3 strokes. And by the way, Phil Mickelson won the Masters 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
His GR was probably, he's horrible. I mean, he flails the ball all over the place.
Okay.
But then he can make shots that get him into position again.
That's
the
all right.
GIR, I mean, that is if you can be in 70% to 80% in GIRs in
well,
Masters,
but this says 68. I mean, what's the difference between 70 and 68? It's 2%. That's like one green.
I'm just telling you that you're going to do well there.
Okay.
Okay. I think what they're trying to say is 68% is a very great number there because it's so hard.
Okay.
Like you take that on any other golf course, maybe the Opens, probably about the same.
Right.
If you're hitting 68% of the greens in regulation, you're not in the top 50.
Okay. So
I think that's what you're trying to say there.
All right. Then par 5 scoring. You gotta capitalize on the par 5s.
Is that top 40 people?
I would think so, yes. The top 40 people. You got to make the par 5s count. Those par 5s where you can get birdies are just simply going to help your score, obviously.
So that's like 80%. There's only 91 players that make the Masters.
Okay.
Which is a super, super small field.
All right.
Typically, I think it's like 170.
Now, is that before the cut?
Yes.
So they start with 91 players.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is it? Then, so it's down to 45 on Saturday?
Cut line is after the first 2 rounds, the top 50 players.
Okay.
So once again, go back to your other event, your other thing, 30 players. There's only 20 that didn't make it. There's 41 players that don't make. Well,
there's 61 players that don't get into the top 30.
Right. But it's top 50 players and ties advance the weekend. So it could be 70 players. There could be 20 people tied at 50.
Okay.
So that kind of makes it hard. But anyway,
Look, all I'm saying.
you looked up the stats. I realize this. I'm not sure if you looked up the right stats.
Look. This is from PGA Tour. Okay, it's their thing. So then tee to green excellence, they can get up and down, basically. You're going to get onto the green. You're going to gain those strokes. I don't know a whole lot about golf. So, my best wedge is this one right here.
Well, it's your foot wedge.
I use the hand wedge.
Okay, you just bend over and pick it up. Like, I'm not trying to fool anybody.
So why do I need? I mean,
why do you need 18 clubs then?
Right, exactly. I could be just as well with just a 3-iron. Just run around
guys
and
that play golf and they don't even hit a driver.
All right, so let's go on to the next point here.
I'm trying to think about that tee to green thing, because that's also greens in regulation.
Okay. You don't get long shots. They don't win. So it's going to be somebody who's ranked in the top 30 overall, not just at the Masters, overall. 32 years old is the average age of the winner.
Okay, so hold on. You're missing the most important age in there. Who's the oldest golfer ever to win the Masters?
Be Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, at 46.
Yeah. Okay, but that's a one-off.
Well, you did the one-off for Tiger and Jordan too.
No, that's 2. They were both 21 when they won. Nicklaus at 46. In other words, it's easier to win it when you are young than it is when you're old.
Absolutely.
So it's just 32.
It's easier to win it when you're younger.
Yeah. And then the last one, nationality. I have an issue with that because they didn't invite. I mean, most of the players are American, so we win in that regard.
Till win.
What's that?
Till win.
Well, I don't know. When did they start letting other people? In the 60s.
So there was 14 Masters prior to that.
Oh, it was only 14.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so the first Masters was in 1934, and there was 3 missed because of the war.
Okay.
So, in the 1960s is what they said.
But did they have a specific year?
No, because they said the first person that did it was Gary Player in the 60s, but Gary Player won in 61, or the 50s, I mean. But Gary Player won in 61.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So,
yeah, the nationality thing, and they let African Americans play until.
But they're still Americans.
Yeah, I know.
And it just is. I just. Yeah. Okay. So most of the people.
It would be interesting to see, like if I were to go back through here real quick, like lately, who's been winning it.
Well, Rory McIlroy is Irish.
United States, Spain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 since 2000.
11
non-Americans.
Okay. Since 2000. So that's so it's 15 out of the 26 have been won by Americans. Yes. Or 15 out of the 25. Or 14 out of 25. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So okay. It's not.
It's 2/3.
Yeah.
So
and so recently, then we can't really count on nationality as being a thing, but we can look at their standing and their age, and say, okay, that does matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the next point here, psychological traits. Resilience, the ability to bounce back after a bad shot or a bad hole, super duper important. And then being patient.
That's important first of all, that's important in every shot you take in golf. It's more important in the majors.
Is patience or resilience?
Both of them.
Okay.
Both of them. probably more resilience than anything.
Well, yeah, because you're going to make bad shots.
Well, you're going to get bad breaks. Bad shots are one thing. That's your fault. Mm-hmm. Bad breaks, like you hit the ball in the middle of the fairway and you land in somebody else's divot that's not repaired properly.
Okay. Or you hit a duck.
That's your fault. I ever tell you the story about my buddy that killed the bird? Hey, it's
completely screwed up his game.
Well, until the bird I didn't tell you the whole story where the
where the hawk
bird
flew
came down
and
and circle of life. There you go. Right, he was fine after that. Patience. The Masters, the U.S. Open. Yeah, the majors, patience is very important as well. Masters specifically, you can go after some pins and you can't go after others.
Okay, right. Because it's just not the right angle. You just can't do it.
I mean, sometimes you have to if you need to make up strokes, right? If you're going into the last 3 or 4 holes and you're down by 2 strokes, you got to hit at a pin over the water. You're probably going to hit in the water. The odds are you're probably going to hit in the water into Rays Creek or something like that. But you have to go for it because in order to win.
Okay. Right.
Like you have to take that low percentage shot sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next little part here. Okay. Looking at this, the person that's going to win is going to be pretty close to 32. They're going to be in the top 30 in the world ranking. Their driving distance is in there. Greens and regulation. The most common score for a winner is 280 at the Masters.
-8.
No, well, yeah. 8 under.
So that driving distance, like these guys are typically bombing these things like 320, 330 now. And they're not hitting drivers all the time at the Masters.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
That they don't.
I mean,
you get those few holes where you can grip it and rip it, but a lot of those other holes are not. It's it's irons.
There's not many there.
So that's so there it is. And then it's historically it's they're hitting the ball further and further and further historically.
Technology,
yeah,
is behind all that.
All right. So there we go. All right. Now,
with all that said,
here are the top 5 guys going into the Masters who are, I would say, the favorites at this point.
Really?
I'm going with these guys. ChatGPT says these are the main guys. Because I asked who are the best guys to fit into that fit that criteria. So they're in the top 30 in the world. They've had good recent run of form. Players don't usually go back to back in the Masters. In that regard, I'm not gonna say Rory McIlroy. I think he's out.
You're gonna pick one of these 5.
I am. And I think it's going to be Scottie Scheffler because he's won it twice.
He is not playing well right now.
But he's still world ranked number 1. And his greens in regulation?
No, he's the best player in the world.
He's right there.
And he's won it before.
Right. And he also, it's an even numbered year. He won it in 2022. He won it again in 2024. 2026. It's his year. So who you got? I'm saying Scottie Scheffler.
Oh, sure. Take the number 1 golfer in the world.
Hey, you know what? There was a time, now think about this. The gamblers had a bet at the Masters where you had the entire field versus Tiger Woods. Oh, yeah. And people bet the field and lost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, why would you go against the best guy in the world?
I really like Bryson DeChambeau.
I'm going with Scottie Scheffler.
I think
he's my guy.
Matthew Fitzpatrick is going to be my pick.
Okay, was he in the Masters last year?
I don't know.
Did he make the cut?
Well, if he wasn't in the Masters, then he didn't make.
Okay, well, see, there you go.
I have to, because he played really well last weekekend.
Okay.
He didn't win, which was important because
Right.
there's only, I
You
think,
got to have that
I
momentum
think
going into it.
there's only 4 people that have won the previous week and then won the Masters.
Okay.
Phil
Well,
Mickelson.
but you got to be on the up, right? You can't be on the down and then go win the Masters. You
That's
got
my
to be.
point. That's Matthew finished like second. He was playing. He made
Okay.
one bad shot, cost him the tournament.
Well, you didn't want him to win the tournament because apparently,
Exactly.
if you win the tournament, you're not going to win the Masters.
Exactly. So there's only been, like I said, 4 players that have won since, back-to-back terms. Masters being the second
Okay.
of the the I think it was a Valero that was this weekend. That's JJ Spawn. So you got to knock him out right now.
I didn't pick him. I picked Scotty Scheffler.
Man, it's a tough picking Bryson because nobody likes Bryson, but it's between him and Matthew Fitzpatrick, to tell you the truth.
All right.
If I have to make my pick right now, I'm going to take Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Okay. All right. Because you got to make your pick. I made my pick.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Who you all got?
Yep. Are we right or are we wrong?
Oh, I mean, the odds are we're not
we're
right.
Right. Yeah. But that's not the point. The point is breaking it down, coming up with the logic to say, here's who's going to win. Nostradamus.
Because Texas and Florida went real far.
Hey, I got Texas. I was on Texas. I picked them. They were a foul away from going into the.
Here comes the Green Bay thing again.
Don't even start with Green Bay. All right.
Hey, all right, Nostradamus.
Like and subscribe. Well, look, you got to break these things down. If you don't break them down, then you're just going on a wing and a prayer. At least looking at this, I'm trying to say, okay, logically, let's cut this down to, okay, a reasonable number of choices.
Mm-hmm. From GTP.
Well, it doesn't matter where the information comes from. I mean, I could just as easily go to just Golf Digest and read through a bunch of things and go, okay, well, this is what we got. Mm-hmm. But why not use technology to help narrow it down?
I just I was watching, Bryson won his last 2 tournaments on the Live Tour. He's playing really well right now.
Okay.
He went to, I don't think he played in the Valero. Well, he can't play in the Valero, so he didn't play in the Valero. But he went to a golf course to practice that they call the Mini Augusta. Like the greens are exactly like Augusta. And a lot of previous players have gone there the week before. Matthew Fitzpatrick is playing really, really well right now.
Well, we will find out.
Scotty Scheffler is not playing well, but a lot of people are not working to win the Valero, or they're working on their game to get to the Masters.
Yeah.
So those guys are all about majors now. So, I mean, it's hard to bet against Scotty Scheffler.
I'm not. I'm taking him. So there you go. All right. Hey, again, like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 20. We got to get to 18, then 19. That's the numbers that go. And then we get to 20. So we only need.
Can we just skip to 22? Let's get 5 right now.
Well, yeah, we'll just put it right up there. All right. Hey, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe.
And let us know your picks in the comments of who is going to win the Masters.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.